Hey everyone, Coach Investor back to another Tesla weekly video for today. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend so far. Now, full disclaimer, I am filming this before the market closes on Friday because I have to catch a flight soon. So later on, when you look at the graph, bear in mind that it still misses the Friday action. But overall, in this video, we're going to talk about numbers out of Europe. More markets have reported their sales for August. Numbers out of China. Some concerning news, I would say, with regards to Mexico. And then I would like to start with the post I made on X on the current state of Tesla. Now, if you're not following me on X, link is down in the description. We're very close to being monetized on there as well. We're over 8,000 followers. Some of them are bots. So, the current state of Tesla, while the ongoing discourse surrounds the topic of to advertise or not to advertise, that's not the question. More on that subject later on. The question at hand is not whether Tesla stock will rise or fall today or tomorrow. It's about what Tesla is presently doing to ensure its dominance in the EV, energy, and AI markets. The straightforward response is that they're doing precisely what it should. Of course, there will be obstacles along the way. What else would you expect? Or perhaps you have not been paying attention all these years. By now, it should be evident that Elon Musk often makes promises he fails to keep, or at the very least delivers them late. If you can't handle that, sell your shares and go buy something else. So let's begin with the fundamentals. The Model S and X constitute only a modest fraction, approximately 5% of Tesla's overall sales. Hence, if they were to vanish tomorrow, it would not be a matter of concern. On the other hand, the Model Y is currently the best-selling car globally, at least for the first half of the year, not just among electric vehicles, but all vehicles, 50K price tag or even more in some markets. Furthermore, the Model 3 has recently undergone a significant refresh. While the sales figures remain to be seen, they will likely be substantial. Now, simultaneously adjusting prices in response to the new Model 3 announcement made sense since it generated significant traffic to Tesla's website, potentially leading to purchases of the Model X, Model S, full self-driving for $12K and not $15. We've talked about that in last week's video. If you missed that, it's going to be in the top right corner. Now, the price point of Tesla's vehicles is so compelling that it renders other options practically nonsensical. However, purchasing a car today is not as simple as it was when interest rates were at 0%. Currently, interest rates exceed 5% and car loan rates are even higher. In response, Tesla has reduced its car prices to stimulate sales, albeit at the expense of profit margins. Now let's turn our attention to advertising. What is the purpose of advertising? It serves several objectives, including enhancing brand recognition, driving sales, and educating consumers, among others. Now, Tesla is currently running 200 advertisements according to Yahoo here. You can see that, of course. It is not the conventional advertisement. Personally, I wouldn't mind seeing Tesla advertised during the Super Bowl, provided it delivers a compelling message that aligns with the three objectives mentioned above. I think most of us would agree that if Tesla did a one-time thing, a one-time Super Bowl ad, it would probably break the internet. Are you satisfied? Excellent. However, it's worth noting that advertising cannot influence interest rates. High interest rates, in my opinion, are a primary deterrent to demand. While we discuss the importance of educating customers about electric vehicles, it's essential to recognize that Tesla is not the sole electric vehicle manufacturer in the market. The competition also advertises, but are their vehicles flying off the shelves? Do they have the world's best-selling car? The answer is no. So while advertising is worth considering, it is not the most significant issue at hand. Now let's shift our focus to full self-driving. I must admit that I was annoyed by the rapid increase of the price of FSD from 7K to 15K. Currently it stands at 12K with the option to subscribe on a monthly basis. Now the peak rate was around $7,000. While I understand some arguments about the computational challenges associated with maintaining the lower price, I believe the abrupt jump to 15K was a slap in the face for many. Nevertheless, the primary goal is to deploy as many vehicles as possible on the roads to accumulate valuable data, thereby advancing FSD technology and eventually releasing it to the public. So how do we achieve this? Advertising? Yet. Lower the prices, make the car more affordable. Now moving forward, we eagerly anticipate the launch of the Cybertruck, which will effectively serve as a mobile billboard for Tesla. Details such as range, pricing are yet to be revealed, but it is high time we received more information. As for the 4680 battery cells and the Tesla Semi, progress has been somewhat disappointing. Lastly, the energy sector. Tesla's business is growing at a faster pace than the automotive segment, boasting higher gross margin. Exciting times lie ahead given the unlimited demand in that sector. So in summary, Tesla is on a solid trajectory, exhibiting a sound understanding of how to manage its operations. As an $800 billion company, it feels like we are still in the early stages of its journey. It's essential to shift our focus from day-to-day stock fluctuation and instead adopt a long-term perspective spanning years or decades. Yes, these are a lot of words to say that Tesla is doing fine, and yes, there is a degree of bias involved. Of course, do share your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, this might not be direct advertising, but it was announced that Tesla will be attending the Detroit Auto Show for the first time in 8 years next week. If they bring the new Model 3 and Cybertruck, I think those cars will advertise themselves. Now let's jump straight into the numbers from Europe. I picked out the biggest markets there. So Netherlands reported 1,992 Tesla sales and 7.2% market share for August. Year to date, it's at 246% of last year's total. If we go down under to Australia, they reported 3,309 Tesla sales in August. And yes, I know Australia is not in Europe. Year to date, this is at 168% of last year's total. As for Germany, they reported 6,903 Tesla sales and 2.5% market share for August. It's the third best second month of the quarter ever, and year to date it's at 67% of last year's total. As for the UK, they reported 4,021 Tesla sales and 4.7% market share in August. Year to date is at 61% of last year's total. Now, if we look at Europe sales as a whole by month and quarter, this quarter has become the best after the first 2 months, and Tesla in Europe has also surpassed last year's total sales already. Now, moving to China, Gigafactory Shanghai achieved 2 million production milestone. And as for the China weekly insured numbers for the week August 28th to September 3rd, that was 11,800. So yes, that is a drop from last week. We've seen that drop already in Q4 of 2022. Now moving on to some charging news. Tesla to install charging station at 2,000 Hiltons in North America. The move will help Tesla remove a barrier to adoption and help Hilton reattract business customers. The announcement coincides with the beginning of business travel season. According to Hilton's chief brand officer, we're seeing a rapid and steep increase in the number of requests for EV charging. We're trying to meet our guests' needs with this new agreement with Tesla. I think this is a no-brainer and a win-win for both companies. Now, with all the price cuts, now it is officially announced on the IRS website, the Tesla Model X is eligible for the full 7,500 EV tax credit. And some more exciting news, well, exciting news for some, not so exciting news for others. So apparently production has halted at Giga Texas while general assembly lines for both the Model Y and Cybertruck are upgraded and optimized. All hands on deck inside the factory. These are pictures from Jeff Roberts on X. Now, of course, you might ask yourself, are they upgrading the Model Y already? Well, first of all, they're upgrading the Model Y all the time. Maybe they found even more ways to make the assembly line even more efficient, and of course in preparation of the launch of Cybertruck. This is great news. Now, before I move into the Mexico issue here, if you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not. We're on our way to reach 30,000 subscribers, so thank you very much for all the support. And if you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to get the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. Now, with regards to Mexico, we had some news, of course, take it with a grain of salt, because apparently this is the headline. Tesla suppliers say carmaker expects 2026 or 2027 Mexico production start. The report cited an anonymous Chinese supplier saying that they and several other Chinese companies may delay plans to launch operations near the still unbuilt Tesla factory set for the northern state of Nuevo León after learning of Tesla's slower than expected plans. 3 or 2 months ago, there was a lot of rush, lots of pressure to look for a location, but 1 month later, they told us to wait. Again, we don't know if this is true. Tesla has not responded to this. Yes, it is true that the start of building in Mexico is taking quite a lot of time. I don't know what happens there with permits, with, bureaucracy in that country, maybe in that area. I mean, we were promised that the permits would not be an issue, but clearly since the announcement, nothing has changed. So yeah, maybe there is some truth to this story. remains to be seen. We'll probably hear more from Tesla in the next earnings call. Hopefully by then we will get some news from Sawyer or from other sources. Okay, so we've got a bit more of an explanation with regards to the Mexico situation that came out when I was actually on the plane. So this is an exclusive excerpt from the Walter Isaacson bibliography about Elon Musk. So the new mass market vehicle, both with a steering wheel and as a robo-taxi, became known as the next generation platform. Musk initially decided that Tesla would build a new factory in northern Mexico, 400 miles south of Austin, designed from the ground up to build such cars. It would use a completely new manufacturing method that was highly automated. And here comes the issue and maybe the explanation as to why we heard about possible delays. Now, if they were moving to Mexico, that would mean that they would have to move all the engineers and the designers as well. So this was particularly true for a completely new car in the manufacturing process, but he realized he would have trouble getting his top engineers to relocate to the new factory. Tesla engineering will need to be on the line to make it successful, and getting everyone to move to Mexico is never going to happen. So in May 2023, he decided to change the initial build location for the next generation cars and robo-taxis to Austin, where his own workspace and that of his top engineers would be right next to the new high-speed ultra-automated assembly line. Now this is of course very important news, because if this is true, then the Model 2 might actually be here sooner than expected. And then lastly, the graph. As I said, this is pre-Friday price action, but currently, as we spoke about last week, we broke out of that cup and handle pattern, which should be bullish. We've seen a good green candle right now for the week. Unless something drastically changes on Friday, I think we'll finish this week with a green candle. RSI is still okay, MACD is still bearish. So if we can finish this week pretty strongly, I believe we will shift to being more bullish and then start next week on the right foot. Of course, this week, Labor Day on Monday, so one less day to trade. And now that school is back, vacation is over, all the traders are back at their offices, expect to see more volatility. And then we'll get more CPI numbers, inflation, Fed, etc., etc. It's going to be an interesting end of 2023, and then going into 2024 election year. There are lots of theories going into election year. After election year, does the market go up, the market goes down? Over the long term, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. So that will be it for this video. Of course, do share your thoughts down in the comments below with regards to everything that we've discussed in this video. If you enjoy this type of video, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.